Hi, my name is Brian and welcome to West Farthing Woodworks, the fun side of woodworking. Today I want to talk to you just a little bit about a sanding block tutorial that I have on the website. It's an heirloom sanding block, so it's a little bit nicer than your average one. If you don't have a sanding block in your tool arsenal, you really need one. You'll use it a whole lot. It makes it a lot easier to sand. It makes it easier to level things out like inlays, bindings, things of that nature. It prevents you having those little finger dips that you'll kind of get sometimes if you sand by hand, and they're really super easy to make. If you are going to make one, you might as well make a nice one. Find yourself a nice piece of wood. This is a figured walnut, and I found this in a scrap bin. Actually, they were selling kind of cutoffs, that weren't really super expensive. A lot less expensive than figured walnut would be by the board foot. And a lot of times your local hardwood store will have some deals like that if you look around for them. But I put a really thin cork lining on the bottom. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, right around there. It's glued perfectly flat, it's sanded perfectly flat, and the edges I just rounded them over, and then I polished it on my Beals buffing system, which I have an article on the website as well. If you click on the link below, it'll take you to the tutorial to show you how to make this. But it's sized for an 1/8 inch or an 1/8 sheet of sandpaper. So it's about 3.5 inches long and just a little less than 2 inches wide. The nice thing about that is you can take a piece of 1/8 size sandpaper and you can wrap it around and you can sand using half of it, or you can wrap it the long way and you can sand with the entire bottom of the block. So that's kind of cool. But again, real easy to make. Put a nice polish on it in the Beal system and use a little sanding block like this all the time. It really does save a lot of time. It helps you keep everything level and smooth when you're sanding, and it actually helps you sand a little bit better because instead of pushing on it against your fingers, you have that sandpaper on this block, and it really does help kind of grind through what it needs to grind through a little quicker. But again, this is the heirloom sanding block. Full instructions for making it are on the website. Just take a look at that URL below. But it is a fairly simple process. Essentially, you're just cutting a block to size, you're sanding the outside really well, rounding it, making sure it feels good in your hand, and then you're sanding the bottom surface really flat. You're going to do that on a flat surface with sandpaper on it, so you know you're getting a good flat surface to start with. And then you're just gluing the cork to it, trimming it nice, and then sanding that cork on that same flat surface until it's nice and even. And once it's set up like that, it'll last practically forever if you take care of it. So again, thank you for visiting West Farthing Woodworks, and happy building.